Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. Today is May 29th, 2014. Today is Thursday. Well, looking at the economic calendar today, we've got a bunch of things coming out of the U.S. Just to highlight here. Okay, let's just set it up. Here we go. So we've got a price index today, a quarterly price index, USD GDP, and a weekly jobless claims number that is coming up later today. All major numbers. I don't think it's going to rattle the market too much, okay? Just looking at the USD briefly, if we take a look at it, took this huge down move from 139, and we're just below 136 at 135.88. We may have a bounce, okay? This thing has been beaten up, I think, well enough for it to have some sort of a decent bounce around these levels. So I would, keep this on my radar. Just it hasn't been trading so much; it's been trickling down, without much momentum. So it's a little bit, harder to trade when it's not going as quickly and it's just churning. But I would keep it on my list today. Just looking at the Aussie USD, which took off the past couple of days. If we look at a 1 hour graph, we see that it, made this nice pivot moves on the bottom. Okay, this nice channel, and then bounced above. We're above these levels over here. The next real resistance. Let's look at it on a longer time frame. Let's look at our longer time frame to see where the next resistance is. I would say. Next real resistance, I would say, is 193. So we've got a nice chunk to really challenge it. We retraced a lot here. I would say support is 192.64 and resistance, floating around this area. In essence, this has still room to go on the upside. Okay, if you remember, we saw it channel here a little bit, try to make a high. Or break out, and didn't, but it's not, reversing its momentum here on the downside. So we might just see a little bit of a, channel trading in the range between the upper range at 0.94 and the bottom range at 0.92, and everywhere in between that. So, but right now we are somewhat hitting a little bit of a resistance of 0.93. So keep an eye out on it. If you do decide to buy it, put a tight stop loss. The biggest loser for the week, the GBP, the British pound. Obviously, over the past year, it's really made a nice rally. Okay, as we see from the beginning of the year, beginning of last year, and now we're just tapering off. Also, trading in a range. There's nothing making it, nothing, no impetus, no sort of news that will make it go higher at this stage. So it is trading in the zone somewhat, or trading in a range rather. So look to buy it. And this actually looks a good spot to buy it right here, with a stop loss maybe at 0.6971. Just for a nice pivot move on the way up, until it does show us some sort of redirection. Looking at the GBP USD, also down 100 pips this week, as we see here. But also, it looks like it's tapered off. We had this major move up from the beginning of the year, and now we're just challenging these upper levels to see if this trend has stopped going up. It could be that we're taking just a breather and we'll be testing these previous resistances, and this might be a good place to pick it up as support. So, buy lightly into it and then build your position. Looking at the gold really tanked this week. Major tank. It broke 1285, which was a major level, 1288, 1289, and then subsequently broke 1282, and then we never saw light of day, and now it's at 1253. This is a major retracement for the gold, not even a question. If we look at a daily chart, just briefly, okay, that's not. Just populate that a little bit so it's more readable. 12. We haven't seen this level since January time. So this is a major level that it's hitting. Maybe a good place to actually pick the bottom here as a possible bounce as we're hitting previous resistance levels in January and in November. Low for the year is 1190, so we still have room to go down. But, this thing has been beaten up, and like I mentioned when we were back here, okay, we said that, we would either have a major move up or a major move down, and I thought it would actually go up, anticipating that we would bounce at 1290, but unfortunately we hadn't, and we see that we've broken. But this would have been a good example of where you could have flipped it. You saw that it didn't break above 1282, and then it broke 1282, and then you just flip it and go short. So this was definitely a breakout on the downside. So those that anticipated, good for you. Those that got hurt in it, make sure, like I always say, put in a stop loss. Looking at the Dow Jones, nothing really big happening in the Dow Jones the past few days. Just been trading in a tight range, really. So keep it on your radar. It is due to pop anytime. Made higher highs, really on its dead high, 1660, 16700-ish. So it's a summer month, so I wouldn't anticipate something in trending in the Dow Jones, but you never know. All right, this is Razak at CM Trading. Have a great trading day, guys. Bye-bye.